I think that question, there are two questions. One is about locus standi. I think it's more than locus standi because there is a huge jurisprudence about the locus standi, and the agreement was in Nepal. I can tell you about Nepal was that when it is a PIM, the only element there should be a concern, public concern. It should not be a private concern. And no matter who brings it, it's not important who brings the petition to the court. It matters whether the matter is of public concern or not. So I think we will not be able to control it by the political purposes by limiting the locus standi. However, one thing could be done from my point of view, as my experience working in this PIL area since long in Nepal, in the Supreme Court, is that courts should only consider the legal and constitutional issues rather than political issues. There are many issues which are political. They may have constitutional connection, but courts should be able to make a distinction between the purely political issues and constitutional political issues. But unfortunately, it will be very difficult to figure out which are political and which are constitutional. But for example, let's take the example of the CA dissolution. The extension of the tenure of the CA, and we argued in that case. We argued that in the court that this is the sovereign 601 member elected by from all over the Nepal, sitting here, and they are supposed to draft a new constitution. Who had the mandate to draft a new constitution? Cannot they amend the constitution for the tenure? They can, principally, but there was a big politics. Court said that no, this falls under the basic structure that you were born for 2 years and you are ruling for 4 years. And that's why we have now non-political government of individuals, bureaucrats. For me, it's a reverse trend of democracy. It's more political rather than legal issue. So that's why I was, in my concluding statement, what I was saying is if you have an independent judiciary, then PIL will be useful. If you don't have independent judiciary, PIL couldn't work. The other thing, my friend from back, I don't know his name. I mean, look, this is not question of goodbying Maoist or this and that. This is more question of the politics. Maoists, they brought a lot of changes as well. We need to also recognize that when they were going for all this process, doing this people's war, they were the people, in fact, I'm not defending them, but they were the people, they were raising the issues of women, they were raising the issue of Dalits, they were raising the issue of marginalized people, which people, kind of, some section of the people supported. But after the peace agreement was signed, it seemed, it looks like that, what they are now doing is they were raising these issues, not because they were committed to the cause. They were raising these issues just to acquire the power. They wanted to come to power. They wanted to collect the money. And they are no different than the Congress and UML. They have gone far beyond, in terms of corruption and other issues, far beyond the Congress and UML. So I think it's a more social superstructure. It's a more social transformation for me, rather than all this, Maoism or Congress or, capitalism or Gandhiism. It's a more social, dynamics. Thank you.